And from the defensive side of the ball, we turn our attention now to the offense, and very pleased to be joined by the offensive coordinator of the Ticats, Coach Tommy Condell. And Coach Tommy, it's been a while since you and I have caught up, so I just want to ask, how you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Obviously, it has been a while. I mean, last time I saw you, your coif of hair was all over the place. Now look at that thing. It's beautiful. Of course, I'm a little bit challenged with that. So that's the first thing I see. So I'm excited to see you, Louie. It's been a while.
It absolutely has. A lot has happened since then. But let's start with kind of the first move that you guys made in the offseason. That was bringing back Dane Evans. And we know the story. We know the competition. You and him obviously have a special relationship. Just what is that relationship? And how crucial was it for you as the offensive coordinator to get him back to lead this offense?
Any relationship, it always goes back to the players and coaches getting to know each other in a way that just covers not just football, but how that person ticks and things of that nature. So it was good to get Dane back because we worked, and now I guess, been 3 years. So, we were able to work together pretty darn well the last couple of years with the rest of it, and also with the quarterback room. It's a special group, and I'm just happy to be able to work with him.
Yeah, and Dane was telling us that him, Jalen, Matthew, they all worked out before, and they're all really, excited to get back in the room together in the classroom and learn from each other. But there were some other changes on offense, and starting with the receiving group, bringing in a guy like Lamar Durant. Is it safe to say he has the potential to be a ratio buster player, a guy that it can go out there and put up big numbers while also representing a Canadian spot?
We're really excited about him on offense, and as a team. He's a guy that can not only do it from the inside, but he also can go outside. So he's multiple, which is exciting for us. Getting a chance to watch him, since he's come into the league and played at Calgary, then he went on and went to BC. He's been making plays since then, and getting a chance to, we even have evaled him when he was coming out, right? So I've known Lamar a long time, and then getting a chance to talk to also his position coaches, not only through college, but also when he came up here. All of them have said so many great things about him. Getting a chance to work with him, not only from a physical aspect, but from a mental aspect. He's been able to show that he's been able to move positions in and out all over the field, and also be able to go up after the football. So, it may soon, but we're excited to get a chance to work with a player like that, a man like that.
Braylon Addison, not much needs to be said about him and his skills, but Stephen Dunbar Jr., Tim White really burst onto the scene last year. And obviously you guys have a lot of trust in them and what they can continue to do. But what are you expecting to see from them in year two, having been through a CFL season, having known the game a little bit better? Is it safe to say that expectations will be a little bit raised for those guys?
What I think it's going to be is those guys are going to be a lot more experienced. That was their first year ever in the CFL, and both of them. It's not like and one's from LA and the other from New Orleans, and they didn't see the CFL game. This is the first time they got on the field and getting a chance to see that, not only from the actual physical aspect of the field, but to be able also the conditioning of it. I mean, to be able to constantly run as a receiver up here, very, very different than down south in an 11-man game. So I think they're going to come in a lot more experienced in understanding not only the conditioning aspect of it, but also understanding how the defenses are trying to take them away in particular, and also how they fit into the offensive system. I think the comfortability that they're going to have, not only from the CFL, but also what we do offensively, I think that's just going to be an organic growth to see their leadership just come. They're not just, and I saw that throughout the year, coming in, and they're not to say that they were worried about understanding the plays, but to understand what the defense is doing, what the plays, what their assignment is. Their eyes are going to now probably grow up and grow out and be able to see and contain a lot of information. And then they're going to relay that information to the other players and make sure they're going to grow as leaders. Those are the expectations that we have. And I certainly think they're going to be able to be fulfilled by both of them.
Well said. The offensive line, you get You get Brandon Revenberg back. You get Chris Van Zyl locked up. There are some new faces. Alex Fontana, someone who was really excited to be a part of this organization. Joe Benz, you keep going here. Jesse Gibbon. The offensive line, obviously, last year, because of injuries, because of different issues, you went through a lot of different rotations. You can't predict injuries, but what can you do going into a season with the guys you have to come out better in 2022 at that spot?
We got to continue to work hard. You got to be able to continue to get the players in here. I know that's not done yet, but really excited about Chris. We've gotten a chance to work with Chris for a while. We have a great relationship and a special one from as the years progress. It's always to get that leader back in there. And as you alluded to with Rev, I mean, that's, Rev and what he has done, Wood Dog, he's a first-year rookie last year, and to be able to come in and start and do those kinds of things, and then adding, Mr. Fontana on that, I'm really excited about that, in the bulk of the interior line, and just excited that not only that, with the guys that have come back and the guys that we've added, and we're going to continue to add. I mean, that's just the way the game is. It's part of the process. We communicate those processes throughout the whole time with the players, like, this is the process in order to win games. Well, it's also coaching, right? And meaning that this is the process of player acquisition, and it's going to continue to grow. And I'm excited about Alex and also the guys that are going to come in. And we, Joe Benz, Jesse Gibbon, those guys make the bulk of the interior guys, and excited to have those guys back, and excited to get a chance to work with them.
A healthy K. Okafor as well, of course, that we're excited to see back on that offensive line. Let's talk about
Don't forget Travis. Travis. I cannot forget about that guy. I can tell you, he is, the smile on my face to be able to have, K back and also Travis. I mean, Travis, he's a special one. Huge competitor, I can tell you. And he's a pleasure. I don't think there's a day of football that he doesn't love. And he makes those guys around him better. So looking forward to seeing that smile on his face. And when he comes into camp, I'm going to just guard myself because he's going to probably pick me up and just be so excited, We can't forget Travis.
Always easy to spot that blonde head of hair of Travis out there, no matter where he is on the field. Let's talk about your backfield. You got JB taking charge of the running backs coach, and you also have 3 returning faces in Don Jackson, Malik Irons, and of course STE. Again, the development year to year. There's expectations with those guys. They have experience there, but what are you hoping to see out of them in 2022 that maybe not that you didn't see in 2021, but they're hoping to build on this new season?
I think the group, JB's got a great group again. He had a great group last year with the receivers, and now, he's going to have a great group working with the running backs. With those guys, with Don's always an exciting guy to be around. He's energetic. He brings a lot of passion and energy with it. So excited to have him, not just from his playing, but to be able to do the things that he does in the locker room and on the practice field. It's fun. It's fun to be around him. Wes, excited to get him back. He didn't get a lot of time last year. One was he got obviously injured. We had, in the beginning we were just with the ratio, we couldn't play an American back. And then we finally got a chance to be able to have that American back, and we're able to put him in there. Then we got hurt. So excited about Wes. He brings a whole load of things on there, not only from his physical running, but also to be able to come out of the backfield. And then the guys that we have also with Erlington and Irons back. I mean, we know what those guys can do. They've had success in the CFL continually with Thomas Erlington, with the things that we do in and out of the backfield with them. And then Malik, I mean, shoot, we can all remember Calgary and his ability to run the football. There is no doubt with Malik, he can run downhill and those kinds of things. And he's actually got really soft hands for a big man. You'd be surprised, So, with those guys.
Yeah, when we caught up with Malik, he was doing his firefighting school. So maybe he comes back a couple extra pounds of muscle carrying all that equipment out there in BC.
That's good.
Yeah, right. To that point, we were talking about this with Coach Coach Washington, he said this is time where coordinators bunker down and, they put on their mad scientist hat, and we see the whiteboard behind you. You might just scribble something down and go from there. But what kind of homework do you give the players? Is it just the playbook and, hey, learn this backwards and forwards? But what's that like with the players during the season? What are you allowed to do? But just take us through your relationship with the players right now.
Right now, it's about understanding where they're at from the conditioning, if they need anything, questions, and also establishing a better and productive relationship and strong lines of communication. I think that's we understand that's one of our pillars, and always thinking, we, not me in that regard. And if we're going to make one of our pillars a commitment to great communication, then we've got to be able to show that. And part of that is in the off season to establishing those strong lines of communication and getting a chance to know those players better and understanding what they're going through, not only from a physical aspect of getting their workouts in and those things that they're doing and making it, but also what's going on them in their lives and seeing what also that we can improve the things that from a meeting standpoint. And it was a little different last year, obviously, because all the COVID things that we had to go with but what can we do? How can we be better teachers? That's the stuff right now that I think is important to establish those strong lines and also be committed to the pillars that we have here as an organization.
Well said. Communication, obviously key, and it's great to communicate with you today, Tommy. Thank you so much for connecting. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure. I'm telling you, Louie, it's always a pleasure to see you.